everybody, how are we doing? It is me, the one, the only, Pyrotechnics, the new guy in our Cast It, and today I'm going to be casting a little bit of a PvP action. Just got this one platinum match, should be pretty good. By the way, how's my sound quality? Like, let me know, because I've been hearing it's kind of tinny lately. I don't really want to keep futzing with my settings because I have no idea what they're doing, so I'm just going to go for that. Anyways, I'm still downloading the replay. Okay, just finished up, and I'll put her on in a moment. Where are my hotkeys? There they are. Awesome! Let's get this game started up. Without any further ado, I present to you... God, I hope this is the right screen. Yeah, it is. Okay. Dipwood versus Matador on Acheron Waste. I love this map, and it is popping up all over the place these days. So anyways, hey, yay, we got some GLHF action going on. Yes, I know you're supposed to say that. But some people are rude, okay? Alright, anyways, Acheron Waste is a nice, quick map on really, with any racial with any matchup, really. I like it as a Zerg, for obvious reasons. You've got your, like, really quick 6-pool, if you like all the cheese. Anyways, we're not really going to head in any tabs, but in the meantime, while, you know, the very early opening's going on, we're just going to kind of go back and forth between the two Protoss and see what their general strategies are, or what they appear to be. You know, pylon placement is actually really freaking important in the early games. We see Matador actually getting his a little bit farther away from his Nexus. He probably wants to utilize it like an Artosis pylon and just build a ton of stuff around it. Whereas we see Dipwood is building his a lot closer to his Nexus, presumably just because he wants to kind of create a bunch of early gates right in front of it. Maybe it's a nice little, like, you know, wall in there, as opposed to doing a wall at his choke. I am a fan of always building a choke. I don't care who you're playing, I don't care what race they are, I don't care what league you're in, I always wall off. I just do. I mean, maybe that's not a good thing. I'm only Gold League. But I think that's important. So anyways, we see the first gateway going down for both players, whereas Matador is currently scouting everything Dipwood is doing, taking a look as if he's got gas hit or not. The first gas for Dipwood goes down, and Matador's following almost mirrored perfect. If you take a look at the production tab, you can see it's very, very close on. Unit composition right now, I mean, they're just about dead even with probes. Obviously, not a lot of difference with 2.5 minutes into the game. Second pylon goes down for Matador, and Dipwood has got his first gas up just now. He immediately sends 2 probes to go into it, and his second pylon finishes just in time for his gateway to get out. So we're probably going to see, you know, some early Zealot Stalker play and some sentries. I don't know who will be the first to do a timing push, because right now these players are just so even on everything. Cybercore goes down immediately for both players. Wow, holy crap, look at these control groups, man. I mean, Matador, I think you got a little overzealous with that, man. But hey, you know what? Whatever you like to do. Second gas going up for Matador, and back at Dipwood's side of the field, we see the second thing following suit. Matador is still scouting everything he does, and so is Dipwood. He's able to see everything on this side of the map. Neither players have any units, so they're going probably straight for Warp Gate. Correct. Stand corrected. There is a singular Zealot on Dipwood's side, trying to take out that probe. Probes are actually going to be a little bit faster, so unless that micro is absolutely terrible, Matador is going to save his probe, and he still has nothing. He's going immediately for his Cybercore upgrades, and, well, of course, so Warp Gate research is coming out for Dipwood as well, and a second gateway is going down. The Chrono Boost is on, well, it was on before it faded out, the Cybercore, and out comes the first Stalker of the game. Dipwood does not want any more scouts. Second gateway, first Stalker is being produced for Matador, and a second gateway comes up while the Cybercore is continuing to research the Warp Gate technology, and it looks like, man, yeah, you know what, it's just very slightly ahead with Dipwood, pretty much dead even, and he's also got a sentry coming out to prevent any early aggression that he might perceive coming straight out of Matador's base. So right now, this is a decent enough wall-off with just units, because remember, the sentries can force field, you know, but the tiniest little things can get right on through. So pretty much a dead-even mirror match, and I'm just going to go ahead and try to guess what the players are doing. Ooh, I don't have to, because it looks like we've got an early Stargate on Dipwood's side of the field. So whether he's going to be doing a Void Ray Rush, some Phoenix Harass, or something more interesting is yet to be seen. a Twilight Council going down on Matador's side of the field, so he's going to be going for, well, I guess either early blink or get a lot of chargelets. Let's take a look at what he does. Mothership Core currently being produced for Matador, and it just comes in. Man, I'm really bad at figuring out when those things start happening. I gotta pay more attention to that. Dark Shrine is going down right now, too, for Matador. He's gonna go straight for the DTs, hopefully break through this unit wall, and go right into Dipwood's base and take out all of his workers before he knows what hit him. But if Dipwood's smart, and if he's maybe able to scout it, well, he's not scouting this proxy pylon, there will be a lot of DTs coming right into his base, and he won't even be knowing a damn thing. So, with any luck, well, here comes the first of Void Rays, first of many, we'd think. He really needs some detection, though. Let's hope he gets a photon cannon or something out of his mineral line. But Dipwood is leaving behind his choke point, and with this proxy pylon here, unless he sees it when he tries to expand, it's going to be pretty easy for Matador to be putting up a couple of... Oh, and the Stalker should not be there right now. He's microing them horribly. He's going to be losing both of them unless he does something else quickly. On the upgrade side of the field, nothing but Warp Gate. So Blink was not researched. The Twilight Cancel was really only put up so the Dark Shrine could come out in time. But right now, Matador has absolutely nothing. He's expanding at about the same rate. He's got so many more minerals, probably to prepare for this Dark Templar insurgence that's about to be coming out. But, you know, if a little bit of detection is really all Dipwood needs to stop this. Let's see if he manages to figure it out. He finally puts down his first forge. I think that's the first forge in the entire game. You know, nobody's been going for armor upgrades right now. And those DTs are marching right into Dipwood's base. He's going to go straight for the worker units. No, apparently not. Matador is going to be taking out the forge as it comes online because no photon cannons can be produced as long as this is sitting here. But, well, while the worker units aren't really able to do much, oh man, this is looking really, really bad for Dipwood. He's going to be able to take out that forge before any of the photon cannons go down. Oh man, and those worker units are not even going to be able to do anything. But yes, we have detection. We have an Oracle out on the field. Excellent move. Well, I was not at all paying attention to that. And those DTs are going to get cleaned up nice. Okay, so in the meantime, we got two bases down, but well, Matador, while focusing on this Dark Templar, was really not microing his probes at all. And his second base is completely unsaturated. Well, we'll see how it goes. In terms of worker count, well, it looks like, you know, Matador definitely has a lead because of what he was able to accomplish with those Dark Templar, but really was it enough? Did he lose more resources on those lost Dark Templar than he actually gained from taking out Dipwood's units? Well, it looks like he might have lost a little bit more, but, you know, that'll remain to be seen how bad it'll hurt him. Forge going down on Matador's side of the field, as well as another pylon, and the Templar Archives finally comes out. So is he going to start producing some High Templar to Archons? I guess we'll see. This little nice little ragtag force of Stalkers at 1 Sentry, 1 Void Ray is going straight for the natural of Matador, and he's going to see that there's nothing there. Well, these Zealots are coming out, but it might be too little too late. Those Stalkers are going to be able to fire down Matador's his Lone Stalker, unless he micros it a little bit better, but he doesn't. And, well, those Zealots taking their sweet time getting down to the natural, but... You know, these Stalkers, even without Blink, are going to be able to kite pretty well, and he micros them decently, but he does lose that one. And, you know, well, Matador's going to be able to drive this off, but with just Zealots, he is not in a good tech position. And if you look at the upgrades, neither player really has a whole lot. So, right now, excellent force field right there by Dipwood, by the way. He's finally getting smarter. Matador's finally smartening up a little bit and getting some more of those Stalkers to be able to protect his natural base while this little army just sits out there and waits for something inevitably to happen. So Dipwood is going for a bit of a contain right now, and he's starting to saturate his base, but he's still a little bit behind from that earlier attack. You know, only 6... I wanted to call them drones because that's how obsessively Zerg I am. Probes are currently really, you know, 5 of them only ahead on Matador. He's just completely stopped producing them because he needs this defensive force, and he doesn't even bother keeping his Templars singular. He warps them straight into Archons right away. Bit of wasted energy, I think, but, you know, there's not a whole lot. Ooh, will you look at that? Will you look at that pylon going in for Dipwood, that proxy right outside the natural, and just outside enough. It was very good placement, just outside enough for him not really to see what's going on because, you know, he takes out these rocks. Yeah, I'll see it going down, but he's able to march a ton of units up here without Matador even knowing a thing. So Matador is now producing a couple of photon cannons as a defensive measure at his base, while this Oracle of Dipwood scouts in the back to see what he has. He'll notice the Templar Archives. He probably knew it's already there, but he will know that he's only got 4 gateways and not really warping in a lot. A few more High Templar coming down, but Matador's getting really low on gas, and he hasn't really saturated his second. Oh, but this Oracle is doing quite a bit of harassment to those SCVs, and it's losing... Oh, just barely staying alive with that photon cannon, driving those probes away. Man, I can't say probes, can I? I really want to say drones, like, really badly. Probes. It sounds weird to say. Probes and pylons. God, I'm such a scrub. Alright, well, Dipwood is massing his units up back at his base, and so is Matador. Very intensely macro game right now going on. The upgrades are... Well, Storm is also finally finished for Matador, but I don't know how it's going to really help against all these units that have such high shielding. A couple more Void Rays, and a Phoenix out on the field. Oh, it's a hallucinated Phoenix. Okay, well, it'll be a good scout. And those rocks are going to be destroyed by Matador before anything can really sneak in behind there, probably to clear way for this new expansion. But that proxy pylon's in an opportune place, especially... Well, we'll see what he warps in. Back at Dipwood's side of the field, we see a couple more Void Rays coming out, while those rocks... Man, complete mirror of what's going on. That Phoenix is going to be seeing everything that Matador has by way of an army, all these Zealots, which are probably not going to do him much good, especially not against this Void Ray and Stalker composition. Those Zealots are good to have, but, you know, even so. A lot of upgrades coming on Blink, and one ground attack going on for Matador. Nothing so much the same for Dipwood, but remember, he's going almost all air, so you'd think he'd want to be getting his air upgrades sometime soon, but we'll see. And I didn't really mean all air, but, you know, that's the real power of his army right here. He's got those 4 Void Rays, and that is really going to make the difference if there is a big attack. But that Archon is nice and scary. So is that Mothership Core. And, you know, with the High Templar, the threat's always there, man. He's going to be able to mass those back up into Archons if he really wants to. So, a third expansion going down for Dipwood at about the same exact time that Matador does it. And we see 2 more Warp Gates and a factory Robo Bay. Man, I can't get my races really straight on this. Going down for Dipwood. We'll see what he gets. Maybe a few Immortals. Maybe he's going to be pumping out some Sentries. God, I do not know Protoss at all. Please forgive me for this. PvP is like the least knowledgeable thing that I have that I can cast. But I know what those are. Those are photon cannons, and they're going to be defending against any Phoenix or Void Ray harass. At least that's what Matador's hoping. But with this Artosis Pylon, might not be hard to shoot this down. So if this is scouted, and it is by Dipwood, it is scouted, he's going to be able to move right on in. Maybe he'll be sending his Void Rays in around the back while this force up in front does a little bit of damage and distracts the army. But, you know, he'll lose all those units, so probably not the best case scenario. I don't know. This force right now is probably in Matador's favor, to be honest, even though his anti-air is a little bit lacking compared to his Zealot composition and his High Templar. Well, we'll see what happens. And he baits out the attack, and they're not falling for it at all. Matador micros pretty well away from that. And right now, Dipwood is not saturating his third base at all. Well, he still has a second kind of coming up. His original one is still very saturated. Matador could use a few more on his main, but he's doing a... Oh my goodness, Dipwood is doing a very good job of taking out that gas, keeping it low, keeping it very low for Matador so he cannot produce any more of those High Templar anytime soon. Meanwhile, he's got a fair amount of minerals and gas himself, and his supply cap is about dead even, but that Oracle just goes right down, no chance is taken. Matador is not happy about all of those units he has lost to that ridiculous Oracle harass. And we see a little more defensive building going on for... I wanted to say, man, I am just so bad at this game. I'm so out of it. Oh, my God. I kind of hope this game doesn't go on so long because I'm terrible. Okay, Thermal Lance going down now, and a Colossus coming out of the Robo facility, while a second one is building. Oh, against this against this all-ground composition, there is going to be not a whole lot, even with those Zealots, that Matador is going to be able to do to stop this if enough Colossus get built, and the Void Rays. Man, some serious anti-ground going on, and it'll be GG if Matador does not scout this, does not see what's going on. Even with those Archons, it won't even matter. And he still keeps warping in Zealots. This is going to be a big mistake if those Colossi have anything to say about it. One out on the field already, no more being produced, but Thermal Lance is about halfway done. And we see +1 armor going down for both players right now. Charge being built up on Matador's side of the field. Another Mothership Core warping in for Dipwood, but he's going to be really careful in his macro game because these probes are going to not have anything to do if he doesn't transfer them really quickly. He really should be putting them on his third and natural. And, well, is he going to be able to do it in time? That mineral field is just running Running right on out, but, oh! Well, Matador's pretty good at scouting, I would say. A proxy pylon going down for Matador over here in the corner where nobody really is right now, and this other proxy pylon still hasn't been scouted. So, I mean, this entire game has been a rather mirror match, and not just because they're both playing Protoss. Unit composition is about the big deciding factor in this one. A lot of High Templar, but there really aren't any energy units, so feedback isn't going to be useful that much, maybe against the Mothership Core. That's about it. I think it's just going to come down to numbers. And to be honest, Dipwood is going to take this if he keeps his Colossus and his Void Rays in the back out of the line of fire of those Stalkers. Those Zealots are just going to get fired down big time. And, you know, even the High Templar and the Archons that Matador is currently, you know, building up and warping in, I don't really think they're going to make that big a difference. He's not even using the energy, he's just going straight to Archons. He probably should be teching to Colossus, but he doesn't want to change his strategy at this point in the game. 4 more gateways going down, soon to be warp gates. So he's sticking very well, committed to the strategy. Well, this Oracle's going to scout the proxy pylon and hopefully shoot down that probe. We'll see what happens. But Matador is on the move. He's going to spot this Oracle and probably fire it down. No, he's not. He's going to completely miss it. If this harassment goes on at the base without, well, those photon cannons might shoot it down. But all the Stalkers are being warped in right now. This third base for Dipwood is not looking too good if he decides to go in there. But this other army of Dipwoods is marching right out. The two armies are going to collide right in the middle of the field. And looks like Dipwood just doesn't want any of that, but he runs away. But now, oh, well-placed time warp. And those Colossi in the back are just doing massive amounts of damage. The unit's loss tab is just racking up right now for Matador. And even with all these High Templar, they're not even able to do anything. Even so, superior numbers. The Storms going down are doing a fair amount of damage, but those Colossus are still standing. 5 out of the 6 of them initially built, and even though 1 more might go down, they're doing a lot of damage, and with the high ground, the Stalkers and the High Templar can't even see them. Oh my goodness, even those Storms, they do not do that much damage. Matador is going to lose all of his units. He is probably hastily warping in. Yes, you guessed it, more Stalkers right now, and those Colossi were just the deciding factor in this game. Even with all of these Stalkers that Matador is able to warp in, he does not have that many minerals to back up an additional assault, and he's still going to lose a good chunk of his units, even with his blink superiority, down to these ridiculously high-powered Colossi. It might even be GG right here. I don't know. Yep, there it is. Wow, what a game. Mirror matchup, but you know the Colossi were really the deciding factor. That Death Ball is something scary, and those Void Rays did a lot of, you know, did a fair bit of damage too. You know, Matador, good game. Dipwood, also good game. It was a good thing to see. I'm sorry, I'm so out of it, and I cannot cast Protoss, be Protoss for shit. Oh god. For one, the vocabulary in this game is very specific, obviously. But I just got back from trying to speak German with a bunch of, you know, work associates. Dude, when you're trying to, like, speak German, and then you need to go back to English, and then you need to go back to StarCraft, oh, you can't brain very well, especially after a, you know, 8-9 hour workday. So, anyways, I'm going to sign off on this one, but hey, I hope you both I hope you enjoyed it. Anyone who's watching this game, good job, Matador, and good game to Dipwood. I believe you're the uploader for this one, so I'm going to give you the special GG. Here you go, my friend. GG! This is my gimmick. I use a GG button. I hope you like it. Okay, so that's about it for me. I hope the audio quality is good. If it's complete shit, just tell me off. Leave a comment on the Twitch channel. I'll try to fix it. So, good PvP. I like to watch it. Platinum. Good stuff. I guess that's it. Till next time, I'm Pyrotechnic.